showcasing local talent, professionals, and everyday people making Salt Lake City what it is today. It's time for another episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast.
Well, let's
I'm good.
You're ready to podcast.
Ready to podcast.
Well, it's been a crazy weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done farmers market yesterday. Mm-hmm. And then today we did the urban flea market. It's kind of like the final few of the farmers markets.
I know. I'm really sad.
It really is. I mean, it's been so nice. I mean, practically living right there in downtown, being able to just walk over there every week and pick up produce, veggies, corn.
It's like the only place we've gone grocery shopping for at least a month.
And that's nothing to be ashamed of.
No,
it really
been
isn't.
great.
I mean, the last farmers market, okay, for people listening, October 22nd. So you still have a couple of Saturdays left. However, today was the last urban flea market.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing, I mean, it's always fun to just go dig through other people's
garbage.
Well,
it's not garbage. One person's trash is another
vintage
man's treasure.
finds,
Vintage finds.
Today we got a sweet camera bag.
Yeah, oh my
to be able to, start taking the camera out a little bit more. I know you've been telling me, Chris, you need to get out there and take pictures more often.
Yes, and if listeners would please call and harass you about that, I think that would be helpful because Chris is incredibly talented. He's a great photographer, and I think he should use his talents.
Well, that's how this all started. That's how the podcast all started, was just taking pictures on an iPhone.
And they're so good. They're so good. If you guys don't follow Chris on Instagram, is it the Chris Hollifield?
Chris Hollifield, on Instagram.
Man.
I mean, we don't need to get into all that
okay,
right now, Chrissy, but let's welcome people out today to episode 246 of I Am Salt Lake podcast.
Welcome.
I'm Chris Hollifield.
And I'm Chrissy Shelley.
We got a great episode today.
Yeah.
On this episode, Omar Prestwich. He's the man behind Damn Son.
Damn, son.
Hey, he's going to...
That's how I hear it in my head.
Well, no, and that's how it should be heard in your head.
That's good.
He shares his story, and he's got a heck of a story.
Yeah.
You're really going to want to listen to this one. Even if you're unfamiliar with what he's about, you're unfamiliar with him as a person, you're going to want to listen to this. I mean, he motivated me.
I know. I watched it. It was cool. He's very motivational. I told him he should be a motivational speaker.
He really should. And I'm hoping to bring him on more episodes of I Am Salt Lake.
I think that would anyone who's trying to start a business, or when you want to do things and you just kind of run out of juice, talk to Omar.
Well, and that's really what all these episodes are all about. I mean, a lot of times we don't know who they are, but I'm hoping to motivate people to get out in Salt Lake City and create something, do something.
Yeah.
We need more people that are doing rad things, and Omar's one of them. And we're gonna get into his story here on the podcast.
And everyone out here who is doing things is happy to talk with you and help you along the way. That's the cool thing about Salt Lake. Everyone's super helpful.
We want to share with people and learn from our mistakes, learn from where we went wrong.
It's way easier.
Let's talk about our sponsors, though, for this episode. We got some beautiful sponsors.
We got Oleo Skin and Beard.
Beautiful people.
They are beautiful people, aren't they?
Oleo Skin and Beard, like Chrissy said.
Yes.
Oleoskin.com is their website.
We went to the farmer's market yesterday, and you picked up one of their new bar soaps.
Yeah, they're making bar soaps. So for people that might not have a beard, like myself, that want something, to use their products, or making some great bar soap. I've only used it a little bit because, like I said, we just picked it up yesterday.
What'd you think?
I loved it. It's great. I'm a big fan of handmade bar soap, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I do pick up sometimes a commercial bar soaps, at the grocery store.
Because they're cheap and easy.
They're cheap and easy. But you know what? I prefer to shop local.
Yeah.
And I'm excited that Oleo has bar soap now. So make sure to pick one up. Like we mentioned, the downtown farmers market's going through the 22nd. I know they're going to be doing markets throughout the winter time.
Yeah.
Oleoskin.com is their website. They got all kinds of great products, skin oils.
All kinds. I just used one today.
What'd you use today?
The sea salt scrub.
The sea salt scrub. I use their beard oil. It gets the beard nice and shiny, nice and
What did I call it today? I called it glittery.
Glittery.
It was shining in the sun. Well, it's so beautiful.
And speaking of Oleo Skin and Beard, this week I have a haircut appointment with Garrett Michaels. Mm-hmm. They carry the Oleo products right there at Garrett Michaels.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. Got to get my hair cut all nice and tidy. And
pick up some oleo on the way.
Well, maybe I'll have to. Distillery 36, there are other beautiful sponsors. We're drinking some of their delicious Brigham rum today.
I'm having some with a Coke.
Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. It is really, really good.
It is. And it helps the Sudafed go down really nice.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Chrissy. Aren't you sick? But they say, sick. Make some hot toddies or something, right? To kind of cure that sickness up. But Distillery 36, great local distillery right here from Salt Lake City.
This is just such a quality product.
Distillery36.com is their website. You can pick them up at any of the local state liquor stores. Pick up a bottle. Enjoy it with your friends and family or by yourself, if you have a little Netflix and chill time.
Over the kitchen sink at nighttime, crying into the drain.
And we're going to talk more about it because Distillery 36 also is sponsoring an upcoming I Am Salt Lake Live.
Yes.
So, we love them for that.
It's going to be really cool. I'm excited to share it with everybody who's going to be there, honestly.
We're going to talk about that after the interview with Omar.
Yes.
So, like I said in the beginning, join us now as we talk to Omar Prestwich from Damson and find out his story. Thanks for listening. Anyway, like I said on today's podcast, Omar, I butchered your name. I apologize. Cool. Omar Prestwich from Damson.
Just damn son. Damn son.
Yeah, in my head, every time he says damn son, I re-say it as damn son.
You got to do it.
That's what I hear.
I'm gonna go back a little bit. I want to get to know you as a person. Where did you grow up?
Oh, believe it or not, Utah County. Part of it was Orem. So like elementary school days was Orem, Utah. And then my family actually moved to a place called Benjamin, which is outside of Spanish Fork.
Oh man, that's the boonies, man.
Mega
I've
farm
never even
community,
heard of that.
Right? Most people still don't. It's there. It's cool. No street signs, no stores. It's literally just a super small farming community with some of the best people you'll ever meet.
Did you guys farm?
Kind of. My dad is more of an entrepreneur, and so he owned a business, but he's all about hard work and like teaching us. So his idea of basically doing that was I'm buying a house with hella property because that's how he is. And I've got 6 boys that will just do chores nonstop.
Yep. That's kind of the mark of a good dad.
So no animals necessarily, cows here and there, but mostly just like a lot of service where the people that legitimately had like a lot of the farming stuff, we were the guys that would have to go and do the fucking work.
So you had 6 brothers, or how many brothers did you have?
Did I have? They're still alive, so I still have them. Actually, there's 6 brothers, 1 sister. Is that right? Yeah, 6 brothers, 1 sister. She's the eldest. Evita, myself. Then I'm the second, and then it goes Sawyer, Peyton, Tanner, Mason, Kenny, and Israel, who is the baby.
You're pretty close. Pretty close with all your family.
I mean, I guess, like, we're homies.
Well, some family members hate each other, right?
Nah, that's true.
And some of us don't talk to our family members. I talk to my family members, but...
Yeah, I mean, my family, they're all super cool. Everyone kind of does their own thing, and everyone is just kind of their own person, which is super cool.
What were you like as a kid? Were you a good kid, a bad kid?
I'm a rebel. I've always been a rebel.
Really?
Let's just put it this way. Kindergarten, it was like the first time I went to the principal's office. So that's like my track record.
Was that like the start of a relationship with the principal's office?
On and off, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like unintentionally, but I guess it's always been my nature to be a little bit more rebellious.
Growing up on a farm, did you feel like you actually had more like room for trouble? To create trouble and do crazy things? You're not watched as heavily when you're on a farm, I think.
Yeah. Oh, well, yes and no. So since I actually moved into the quote unquote farming lifestyle community, in high school, I was more, I was more influenced by Orem Provo into what I was into, which was like rollerblading, graffiti, breakdancing kind of, stuff. And so I didn't make the friends that would get me in trouble. There was room, I guess, but I never, and I didn't have a driver's license, so it was like shit, school bus, home, chores.
Yeah. That's
if that makes sense.
None of your brothers ever like drove you out somewhere and dropped you off and made you walk home?
No, I'm the second to the oldest, so I would drive them. But when we did get in trouble, my dad would make us run laps, and one lap around our property was a fucking mile. So,
oh, jeez.
I mean, now it's funny, but
now it's funny.
Hey, touche, Dad. If you are listening to this, sorry about the language. Touche.
Your dad is actually a big time listener of the podcast.
He
He actually told me, he said, bring my son on the show, have him share his story.
Yeah.
No, so as a young kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? I mean, did you want to get into farming? Did you want to live the country life? I mean, as a young kid, we all have that dreams and things of what we want to be when we're older.
Yeah. Truthfully, as a little kid, elementary school days, I wanted to be a cartoonist. Like, I was like, I'm going to draw for like Disney or something like that. And then got a little older. I'm like, well, maybe I'll be like an architect or something like that, whatever. Sure. And then it was like, I'm going to be a businessman. I'm going to own, my own business, whatever it was. I didn't care. My dad, again, an entrepreneur himself, owned a pallet shop. So in high school, before they sold it, my idea was actually, I'm going to eventually, along with my brothers, own this business.
Oh,
so that was like part of my mentality. And obviously it didn't go that direction. So kind of what I do now is literally more or less been my dream because it's what I've always liked to do as a little kid.
Sure. Well, let's jump into Damn Son.
Let's
Chrissy.
do it.
I mean, I want to get right to the meat and potatoes here with you. I mean, because I think we have a lot to talk about.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a lot of people listening to this like, what is this Damn Son?
What the hell is this?
What is it? I mean, how would you describe it in a few words, or if say you met somebody on the street who's never heard of what you do, how would you tell them?
Damn Son, simply put, we are a music infused brand.
Okay.
That's what it is.
You make clothes?
We do merchandise, but before merchandise, and when I say music infused, is Damn Son originally and still is a record label. That's how it all started. So Ping, episode 63, you can listen to Cade Call, aka RoboClip, kind of explain more of the foundation of Damn Son, but it's a record label. We find talent, we release it, we license it, we do the distribution, and we market the music. So
how do you release it? Because now, I mean, with the music you do, it's probably all computers,
right?
I mean, you don't do anything like on a CD or an 8-track.
Like you put them on Spotify?
Exactly. So you guys can find all of our releases that we license on Spotify. So anything that we've done from like Kudo, in fact, right now Shazam, you can. But Spotify, Kudo 19th, it's my favorite song, or 100 Day Delay, who is actually goes here. He's a professor at the U, but he makes some beautiful music. We release some of his stuff and earlier stuff from Action and Gajia, now known as X&G, Robo, name on and on. But yeah, find it all.
Which you mentioned, Cade was on the podcast. I mean, you gave a shout out to him, just so people that might not have caught that. He was on episode 63.
Right.
So you can go to iamsaltlake.com/63 to listen to that. And then Gajia.
Yeah.
Did I pronounce that right?
Gajia.
Gajia. It's Aaron, right?
Aaron Spaziano.
Because he was on, gosh, what was he? I should have pulled that up. What episode he was on.
Fast forward maybe like 30 episodes, I bet.
I probably spelled his name. It doesn't matter. I'll get the link up on the show notes
around episode 90 to
because
100
they're all connected. They're all part of the Damn Son family.
Yeah, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, how did the idea come about?
The idea came about. I was doing summer sales. I was living in California, and Cade RoboClip had sent me some music of his that he had produced, and I, always DJ'd. I never really got into music production. I just loved, playing music. Anyway, when I heard his music, there was something different. I don't know what it was. I was just like, wow, this is dope. It's different. I like it, and it's my friend's music. How do I get this out there? And so I just I don't know why. I just decided, truthfully, I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm like, I want to create a record label. Now, I guess part of it is also like, I realized the truth, which is, am I ever going to be a Cascade, you know, a Diplo, a Skrillex per se, that I'm playing these massive, massive shows? No. Like, those guys make their own music. They produce. They, you know, that major part that I don't do. And so I realized, okay, I
There's
can't
a
do
reason
that,
they're
right?
up there doing that.
Exactly. How can I still be in this industry, involved with it, and not like have to be a DJ or whatever? And so I just kind of decided, well, Diplo has Mad Decent, A-Track has Fool's Gold, Craze has Craze has Slow Roast Records, on and on, Owsla, Skrillex, and I decided I can create my own label.
Yeah.
I'm good at that.
That's awesome.
So what name do you go under then when you're for your music?
It was Tom Servo,
Okay.
SRVO. And now, surprise, surprise, I'm actually going to switch it back to my old DJ name, which was Ohms, OHMS.
Okay.
I like that. Nice and clean.
Ohms.
Nice and simple.
You were going to ask something there, Chrissy.
Oh, I was going to ask, so did you have to learn any extra things in order to do that? Did you jump into, how did you figure out like how to create a label and how to produce? I mean,
well, I still don't produce per se. I mean, I guess I can learn, but I was running and listening to Flosterdamus's remix of Diplo's original Dawn, and one of the samples that they used was "Damn Son," and that was when it was hella popular. And I remember running, hearing that, and I was like, "That's it. That's the name of the label, and I'm gonna start this today." And I went home.
you're a decision maker.
Have you
That's awesome.
with a name like Damn Son? I mean, let's be honest here. We're in Utah. I mean, that's a tough name.
And you're located
In Utah,
Happy Valley.
in
Oh, you
Utah
were.
County.
You were.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, that's. I mean, what?
How did that go over?
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you, I didn't fucking care.
Okay. No. I like that mentality.
That should be your
I
tagline.
think-
Damn, son, I don't fucking care.
It's do what you love, which is, I guess, another version of that.
Pretty much.
But do you think it's held you back at all, or you just don't care? I mean, let's be honest.
Well, there's a whole, like, I guess, story behind that. And when I say I didn't care, I meant to say, like, that's just what I chose. I don't think about it. I didn't care. No other thought crossed my mind other than that's it.
You weren't going to stress about it if it upset people.
Yeah. I mean, I never even thought of upsetting anyone. It was just, you know, and then granted, when I did start it, there is some pushback. And the funny thing about the pushback, it's more people telling me, oh, the name, it says damn. You know, there was a lady that did call the cops on my van.
I was telling. Okay, you told me this story, and I was telling Chrissy this, and share this story.
And I
it is-
shared the story with other people because I think it's so hilarious.
it's-
Classic Utah County.
Share it for the listeners right now. So
Completely dumb.
you have like a big. It's almost like a UPS style
Right.
thing or cargo.
I bought a food truck. It was black. And I'm like, I'm going to make that into a store. So I bought it. It's a big black food truck, and it says, damn, son.
You had it painted on it.
Yeah, I painted it myself, actually. So,
Oh, nice.
So imagine being Provo, Happy Valley, and my van is just parked right where I used to live. And it was wintertime, so I'm not driving that thing, and it's just sitting there. Anyway, all of a sudden I have this ticket. I'm like, why do I have a ticket? And I look at it, and it was a neighbor complaint.
Oh, wow.
And what really pissed me off was, like, when I called the police department to be like, is this for reals?
Yeah.
The lady was truthfully kind of a bitch. She was like, well, why don't you just move your truck? Or,
Oh, the police officer?
yeah,
was?
I'm like, okay.
Where are you going to put a food truck on the small streets of
I mean,
Provo?
this thing is big for people.
Yeah.
I'll try to get a picture up at iamsaltlake.com with this episode, but
It just kind of made me laugh and just kind of like, wow, really? I mean, it's just a word. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, it's just a word. It's Happy Valley. I get it. Raise your kids, raise your family, whatever way you want. But
People are afraid you're like ruining their child's lives. If
look
they see
into it, right? Just
Yeah.
look into it. What we promote is positivity, hard work. Don't judge a book by its cover. Essentially, right? Look into it. The back of the van, you know, says "Do what you love." Search a hashtag, whatever. That's really, truthfully, what made me mad was kind of like the overall complaint of you're in a family neighborhood. Mm-hmm. But I get it though. So respect. You know?
Did you have to pay a fine? I have to know this.
It was
really?
like $30.
That's
no
it.
way, just for offending a neighbor.
I would just keep parking it there, man.
I did leave it, actually. I was like, whatever.
And did you get any more fines?
No, I never got another fine. Like that was.
They just wanted to see if it would teach you a lesson.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I just would move it every other day up the street, like 10 feet.
I'm not going to lie. This thing is awesome. I mean, I would love to do something like this for I Am Salt Lake.
Yeah.
To get something like this, have like a portable or a traveling podcast studio.
Mobile.
Talk about the inside of it. So can you describe it at all? It's really cool what you've done to this.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. So, basically, just so you know, the overall vision of Damson with the clothing side, not the music. So I'm talking about the clothing, the brand aesthetics of it. My goal and dream is to actually own. Am I good? Still.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Is to basically have my own retail store. You know, like you just go in and it's Damn Son. That's what the store is, and so that's super ambitious, huge dream, which it's going to happen. So anyone listen to it, get ready because it's going to happen. The first step after tons of people tell you, no, I don't want your stuff in my store is fuck it. I'm going to do it myself. So I kind of see this trend in music still where people build their own brand and, you know, that the record label becomes its own brand and you expand that way. And so with clothing in that kind of industry, I kind of see it going more mobile. Why not?
Interesting. Because I don't know if I've ever seen a mobile clothing retail showroom, basically.
I mean, it's the future if you think about it. And there are places that do it. You know, there's pop-up shops that happen all the time, and they're hella dope. And so I just see that happening, and I'm like, hey, well, the first step to get to where I want is I'm going to make my clothing a store. It's going to be mobile, and it's going to be what I want it to be. No one's going to tell me anything. So I bought this van. It was completely gutted out. I hired my next door neighbor, my dad's next door neighbor, again, awesome people, right? Who just is like the ultimate handyman, caught my vision, loved it, and literally helped me construct the inside of this food truck into what is truly like a unique boutique, unique boutique store.
And
how's that?
You honestly, if you're listening, I don't think you can describe it.
You can't.
You
It's an
have to experience
Very
it.
urban, I mean, the walls are pallet walls that I ripped off pallets, stained. There's electricity running through it, very kind of dark and intimate. The wall, the opposite side of the pallet wall is a very kind of ebony color stained wood where I hang photos of the brand. There's music from our radio show, Damn Son Music. So SoundCloud, check it out, Damn Son Radio, that plays. So when people are in the store, they see the photos, they get that it's music related. They see the clothing, they can feel it. They hear the music. And occasionally, if you catch it, I don't know if you did, but you'll hear Dudley Noon, who's the guy that runs the radio show. And he's got such a great voice. You just hear, you're listening to Damn Son Radio. So as you're feeling...
It's a full body experience.
Right.
You have like all the senses.
Right.
Sure.
And that's what I think the future of this kind of merchandise, like of streetwear, is going. But if I want to build a record label and I want people to associate themselves with it, then it's got to be more than just another t-shirt company or whatever, right? They have to have a reason to buy and associate themselves with it. So that's what I try to create.
Selling like a musical lifestyle.
Again, music infused brand. That's what we are.
We're like, if people wanted to come check it out, do you have a schedule of places that you go to open up? And
Excuse me, I will soon. I was living in Utah County, and it's such a pain in, the butt from Utah County. Such a pain in the rear.
Let's talk Utah County talk, right?
Okay,
Bottom.
To drive that machine from Provo to Salt Lake, 55 miles an hour, this thing's old, right? So, I mean, I literally put my own money into it. So it's old, and it barely goes on the freeway. Once it gets going, it's GMC, it just keeps on going. But hopefully they'll hear this and be like, oh, hell yeah, we'll sponsor that thing. Anyway, and so it's just a pain. Now that I live in Salt Lake, and we can talk about that later, I'm going to make a schedule. It's going to be very limited, because I want to keep the brand very, very exclusive. Because my dream of it being like a Supreme or an Undefeated, I want to keep it like people wanting more. Like, what's coming up next? We don't even know. Where's it going to be? But when it's there, it's an experience.
And they're like, we got to go. We got to check this out.
If you're too accessible, it's just... It doesn't provide the same experience when you do go.
Maybe we should take that on with the podcast, right? Like, you don't know when an episode's going to come out.
It might happen. It might not.
No. You need to do the episodes because we love listening.
Yeah.
Like I need it for work. I need it when I'm driving or when I'm running. So.
Well, thank you. So back up a little bit. You mentioned that stores were saying, no, we won't carry your stuff, thus making you create the truck. Do you have your product in any stores now?
The Damson van.
That's it. That's
the damn van.
The damn
100%. And my apartment where
people can visit if they really want a shirt.
Chill. I'm working on my desk. That whole wall over there is all Damson stuff. I got a square. Let's just do this.
Do people call you up and say, Omar, I need to come over and buy some gear?
I actually had this kid that did message me, but I don't advertise it too much, to be honest with you, which is cool. People just kind of like it, and when they do hit me up, I love meeting them. And
so, do you sell anything online? Do you have online stores?
Yep.
Okay.
Damsonmusic.com.
Okay.
Use the code I am Salt Lake. I'll make one tonight.
Okay.
Right? What percent should we give them? You choose.
That's a lot of pressure.
That is a lot of pressure.
I don't want to make you go broke. 30%. Let's do 30%.
You go to damsonmusic.com. You buy anything. Use a discount code. I am Salt Lake.
All one word.
All one word.
All one word.
Like the show.
Yeah.
And you get 30% off.
And the t-shirt designs are pretty epic.
Dude, these are
I'm a designer,
really
and when I saw them, I was like, I like that.
Cool stuff. I want to get you to design some I Am Salt Lake shirts.
Let's back up. It's all the crew that does it.
Okay.
So the most popular design is what's the Ox God. It's the praying hands that have the auxiliary cord. And that is done by a girl named Alethea Lunaris, which you definitely need to get her on the show. She's the hottest designer in SLC, in my opinion. She designed it. I saw it. I'm like, that's it. That's the fucking thing I've been looking for. Yeah. That kind of describes my brand. So I asked her if I could use it. She said, yeah, that's cool. She gets a royalty, obviously, off of all the sales, but she's an incredible designer. She did that. And then a lot of the other designs, again, are other people that have kind of shared their talents with us. We'll pay them or we'll do a trade. And then all I do really is how do I take these designs and make them look cool on the shirts?
Yeah.
We need to get some of those on anyway.
Yeah, we do.
We're here to find out about you.
Let's talk later.
We need to get some I Am Salt Lake shirts.
I do blabber a lot.
No. That's what we're here for, man.
I'm curious, what responses did you get from people who said they didn't want you in their shops?
So first one, because they were the biggest dicks, was Board of Provo.
I remember that. Are they still around?
Yeah, they're still
Board
around.
of Provo, is that a skateboard shop?
It's a skateboard shop,
right.
Yeah.
So I actually have a box that they're now hella limited because I'm not going to do them again, but that I used to ship all my stuff in, a very dope, all over printed, customized packaging. And I made, I put all my shirts in there that I'm like, this looks dope. This represents a brand. This is like a year and a half ago, almost two, and I went to Board of Provo first. I walked in hella nervous. I'm like, I'm just doing this. And I'm like, hey, I'm looking for the guy that does your purchasing. And the guy looks at me, he's like, oh, you're trying to sell your stuff? And I'm like, yeah, I would love to put my stuff here. He's like, yeah, we don't want it.
Did he even look at it?
Didn't even know who you were.
No fucking clue. I'm like, cool. He's like, yeah, we don't do that. I'm like, okay. Looked down and ignored me. I'm like, wow. So Board of Provo.
Bitch move, Board of Provo.
One day, I hope you guys buy my shit.
Now they're wishing they carried your stuff.
They will. Hopefully they, actually fucking buy it because I make money off you. Anyway, I went to, I don't know if I want to necessarily say names.
It doesn't matter. We don't need to give names. Yeah. I was wondering, did that tear you down or did it drive you to work harder?
That one was this is going to be challenging, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's hard to, in any business that you do, especially a startup with, I think the hardest startup is a clothing line, or music. near impossible, but I love it. And so
Because
that
it's such a dense market in the first place.
you just got to basically find your niche and just go for it. But that was like, okay, I knew it was like, oh, this is going to be hard. And I'm already an emotional guy. So I'm like, God damn it, Then the next one was kind of like, I learned, right? So what do I need to do different? The next one was easier because I could talk about it better. But again, it was like, well, consignment. And I'm like, no, this is, you buy my product because it's good. And my whole pitch was the vision, which is, this is going to be big. I only want to sell this in 1 to 2 locations because it's going to be exclusive. And then I went, they said no. And then they actually told me, yeah, come back. And I did. And they said no.
Sure.
Then another store in the Salt Lake Valley told me no in the nicest way, where I learned the most. I wish I could say the name. I'm not going to say it, but he basically, told me like, okay, this is cool, but we're very, exclusive, blah, blah, blah. After people initially buy your stuff, then what? And I thought about that, after I left. I'm like, hey, he's right. Mm-hmm. I don't think necessarily, and I do not blame him because he's an incredible businessman and someone in Salt Lake that I just admire and look up to, who's in my opinion, one of the coolest dudes around. But that was to me like, hey, he's right. What do I have to do to really make it worth for someone that comes in and buys it and has to come back to buy some more? So that was the hardest no, and the one where I learned the most, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you had to figure out how to keep clientele coming back.
Well, he was just kind of like, look, this is cool, but, you're not the only guy that comes into my store and is like, hey, I want to put my clothes in here. He's just you're just another guy that probably is trying harder than the next guy, because I went in there with yo, this is what we have. This is what's coming out. Here's, it was a thing I designed that had all the clothing, what it is, what it retails. It's what I pitched to Agenda, who they emailed me and were like, yeah, we'll let you have a booth here. It's what I pitched to South by Southwest, and they were like, yeah, this is cool. Let's have you come. And and then it's funny because just like music, which I'd love to talk about later, it's kind of the same thing where no one believes you until it fucking happens, which is sick. It's awesome.
So you did South by Southwest then?
I ended up not being able to go because of work and other things.
And have you ever been to South by Southwest?
But I'll be there next.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I want to go check it out one of these years.
Anyway, so that was a huge bummer because South by Southwest.
Sure, right? Man. Sure.
And I had it set up to where and it's better now because now I feel like I'm more prepared and I'm ready, and it's going to happen. Now that the brand feels more established, better vision, more people on board that are awesome key players, right? I want zero credit for the brand. It's the people behind it that push it, that make the machine work.
Yeah.
But you would like this to turn in to eventually your full-time job, right?
It's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt in my mind.
I like your enthusiasm.
So where do you, so I mean, 5 years, where do you see it? I mean, do you see, how soon would you like it to be?
I would love it, to obviously happen overnight. I love where I work. So I work at this place called Fresco Press. So ping another one in case you guys need shirts, anything, we do it all. So Fresco Press, look them up. But I love the people I work with. And the reason I love it is because that's a startup itself. It's a guy that had a vision, who took one manual screen printing shop or manual machine, didn't know how to do it, Googled it, and now is, the key competitor. You need to compete against us if you want to be in the t-shirt printing game, and so I love working there. And so I never necessarily want to leave that kind of job, but because of where I work and my team and my boss, they help me get to where I want to be. So hopefully in 5 years, it's kind of hard, thinking about it, because in 5 years,
the vision could change along the way a little bit too.
It's 5 years. I see myself having one store in Salt Lake and being a relevant brand in the next biggest markets, which for us are, believe it or not, Portland, Seattle, Madison, Wisconsin, and Las Vegas.
Look at that, Wisconsin, Chrissy.
Yeah, well,
Right.
Madison's pretty awesome.
And so Dudley Noon, again, he runs our radio show. He released music with us under his group, Dense City. And so he holds down the fort in Madison, and people like thrive with it. And then in Vegas, one of the local promoters there that basically does all the the guys that like in Salt Lake that do all the cool events here, he's the guy that does them in Vegas, and he loves the brand. And so he always puts our name on there, and we always are able to sell merchandise and work with them. So that, it helps the brand grow that way. And then we have friends that have moved and migrated to Portland, which is Wolfkin, Josh, who he, is very involved in that community, and going and playing there was huge for us because we, expanded, and then making friends there and going to Seattle where my brother lives and making friends there. It's so surreal. But a lot of the major stuff that's been going on now, I have to give the biggest shout out to Christian Williams and Aaron Simons, or Spaciano X and G, because of their hard work. They're helping the brand grow as well, because as they grow and play music festivals and shows and they wear the brand, that's huge, because that is the definition of damn son. That's like the hard work from the bedroom producer, boom, making it into like the industry that everybody wants. And they're repping, that brand that represents all of that. That to me is like, that's it.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's
long
really,
tangent.
So do you have pretty,
no.
do you have pretty good listenership in those cities?
Yes. They're just our number one markets. People love the brand for some reason. Thank you guys. They buy our merchandise. They listen to the music, and listening to the music really is the bigger deal.
And I don't think you really touched a whole lot on the Damn Son radio, because you mentioned you can find it on SoundCloud, so that's how people can listen. I mean, what exactly is this radio?
So,
it's not traditional radio.
No, right? Yeah, there's no such thing as that anymore. It's
Sure there is, man.
I mean, there is, but does anyone really listen?
I do. Sometime in the morning.
Too.
I listen to my, radio from hell.
Right. You know what? Carrie, Bill, and Gina every morning. Radio from hell. What up, guys? Anyway, forever ago, Kate and I were like, let's just do a radio show. And then we never did. 2 years later went by, and I'm like, I'm just doing this. And my friend Kyle, Kyle Baker, I almost forgot his last name. He's always been the kid that's like, I want to help you. I want to help you. I want to help you. And I could never find like somewhere where I'm like, yeah, I think you would be a great fit. And he was like, I'll do the radio show. I'll buy a mic. I'll start it. And I'm like, let's do it. And so we stayed up, I think it was till like 3 a.m. one night. We're like, we're just doing this. And we released it, and it like popped off. Like I thought we were only going to get like maybe 100 to 200 listens. I think we got like 500 the first day.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
For us, that's great. Excuse me. And that's when I was like, okay, we're just going to keep doing this and keep doing it and keep doing it. And the radio show was like, it was just kind of a way where we kept getting all this music, people submitting music, or we would find music. And it was like such an overload where originally it was like, let's release music. And then Omar, aka Tom Servo, the DJ, would put out like these weekly or monthly mixtapes that had the music that we would find. So that would be my contribution, since I'm not a producer, would to be a mixtape. Too much time, didn't do it, whatever. And so now we do the radio show.
Sure.
And Dudley Newton's just like phenomenal at it. He finds great music, great vibe, good voice. And so if you listen to it now, sometimes it will be just music. Sometimes it will be an interview. So like the No Life crew from Madison, Wisconsin, we just interviewed them, and they were just featured on the new Frank Ocean album. So look them up. Super small crew, obviously talented. Or Jill Strange, who we interviewed, and she's the ESPN official college game day DJ. Like a lot of people don't know that, but we interviewed her, and she's traveling across the country playing music.
Wow.
So it's cool.
That is really cool. Especially, I mean, it seems like you really get into a lot of the scenes, a lot of the musicians right before they really go national, go touring. And You're kind of at the beginnings.
I feel like I have an eye for, I'll toot my own horn. I feel like I have an eye for talent. I'm not always right. I look for very simple things, which is how hard do they work? Like, how is their work ethic? How hard are they hustling themselves? And how bad do they want it? Because I know how bad I want it. And that will always that will always turn into something good if they're willing to work and work and work. And so I'm 4 years into this, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. And I feel like I'm barely like scraping the surface, but I'm still going for it. And now more than ever, I know I'm going to do it. And that's what I look for in musicians.
Yeah. There's a lot to that too. Like, you can be talented, but that will really only take you so far. I mean, creating something and continually creating things and going for it, it's like picking a scab. You know, you just, it's gross, but hey, you just got to keep trying. You got to keep doing it. It's going to be hard sometimes. People they don't just wake up talented and make $1 million records.
Right.
So that's cool that you look for that aspect of it. Cause I don't know if a lot of people focus on the work ethic of bands.
I mean, that's really what it takes. Gary Vaynerchuk, he's one of my favorite entrepreneurs. He said, cream always rises. That's in his book, Crush It. And that, when I read it, I'm like, wow, you know, I have to be cream. I have to be the fucking best. And that's like the main goal is to like the aesthetic, right? To have the music that we release fit the brand. And I think a lot of people, I've had people get mad at me or whatever because I either turned their music down or, you know, whatever, but it's not. Cade actually, RoboClip said this in one of the episodes that we did on Damn Sun Radio. He said, you know, you can't take that personal because it's nothing against you. It's just not, you said it, not everyone likes that type of music.
So you got to find your audience, find your crowd, man.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you've been doing this for 4 years.
4 years.
What do you know now that you wished you would have known when you started all this madness? Is there anything? Maybe not.
There's a lot. I actually started my own podcast that I stopped for a few different reasons on how to start your own label. One, I guess like the main thing that I've really learned is really no one's going to believe you.
Believe you with what?
Your dream.
In the beginning. No one can see your vision.
They're going to put you down.
Yeah.
Maybe, right? Or no?
So not necessarily put you down, but, and you read this, so it's not like I'm saying anything new. It's just like no one believes in you because unless you do it, it's just a dream.
Well,
right?
A lot of people talk a big game, like a ton of people talk, and they talk a really good game,
right?
But you don't really know if they're going to follow through.
So let's put it this way, right? My parent, I'm just going to, this didn't happen. This is just an example, but you know, you go up to your parents or a loved one or whatever, and you just say, hey, I'm quitting my job and I'm going to pursue my dream, which is starting a record label and a clothing brand, and we're going to be cool and sell in stores and blah, blah, blah. Okay.
They're going to call you crazy.
Right.
Well, ideas are easy. Like,
that's still
doing
crazy,
the work.
Right?
It is. Well, it's crazy.
And so working at a t-shirt printing shop, we see that all the time. And it goes back to, again, with that guy when he rejected me, was like, dude, you're not the only one that comes in here and tells me I want to put my stuff here because we're the next blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I'm the next damn son. I'm the damn, like, there's no one like us. That's what I'm focused on. And so long tangent, blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember what you asked originally.
No, I get it, man. I've done podcast interviews where it's like, and that's the beauty of podcast. You can just get all over it. I asked you, what do you know now that you wished you would have known?
Let's cut that whole shit off. What do I know now?
I'm not cutting it out, man.
It was a good rant.
Okay. No, I loved it, man.
I know.
You inspired me.
Now it's just like, look, if you really want to do it, go for it. Find your market. Figure out how you're going to make the brand look good or well, however the proper English is. Just make it look dope. And just go for it. Learn. And don't worry about what people think. Because, and Gary said this actually, Gary Vaynerchuk, he said this in his interview with Success Magazine recently. I think you can still pick it up, but he said results will always show. And so that's what I love about now. What I know is that's why I keep doing it, because results happen and it lets me know, hey, it's working. So that's what I would tell myself, or what I've learned is like, just results.
Stay focused and driven and get it done. And you'll see
I mean,
results.
if you don't do it, you don't get results. If you get bad results, then stop.
Yeah.
If you get bad results, and then good, keep going.
But you even said people would kind of, they rejected you in the shops, but you kept going.
Yeah, because like it doesn't matter what they say because it's not their business. They have their own. This is my own, and I can't blame them because unless they really look at it. And back then, when you looked at our Instagram and it had like 900 followers and clothing that perhaps wasn't as, it was dope because I printed it, right? And I want to make sure it looks good, but I don't blame them. And now it's like just do it, Nike, just do it.
Just do it.
Do you feel like I don't like the word failures, but when you got denied by companies, did it kind of motivate you to keep proving yourself and keep going, or did it knock you down?
Like the song Chumbawamba?
Exactly like Chumbawamba.
Both. The people in the stores didn't necessarily hurt my feelings, other than I just thought, you don't get it.
Yeah.
That's what I would leave thinking, like, you don't get it. What hurt are the people that are close to you that truly don't believe in what you're doing, or say that they do, but they don't.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to, again, it's just because it's a dream.
Yeah.
And so that's what motivates me, are the people that are closer to me that don't believe it. That motivates me to be like, no, let me show you.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you want to get them into your dream. You want them to actually
No, I just
see
basically,
it.
there's a handful of people that I just want to be like, fuck you, just watch.
So spite is a good motivator.
Just like, shit talkers, let me back up. Haters. Anyone that's a hater, I'm just being straight. Like, I don't care. I love it. The haters fucking motivate me.
Dude, I can agree, because that's how it was even when I started this podcast. There were people, that will never take off because you're just focusing on such a small market. And it's like I so badly wanted to prove them wrong and keep creating episode after episode after episode. And here I am.
I love it.
I have Omar on
and
the
I've
show
been
now.
wanting to be on the show since Cade was on here. I was so jealous. I was like, But I was doing summer sales. He was here. And the whole idea when we started this, and again, 3 years ago, was like kind of what it is now, a little bit, where it's like I was never wanting to be the face of Damn Son, and I still
You
don't.
got a beautiful face, though, man.
Ladies, I'm single.
It's very handsome. Ladies, look him up on Facebook.
On Tinder?
Yeah, I
Should we
guess.
put your
On Tinder.
Tinder
Just
profile
look at
on?
my Instagram, because I think that's where I'm the coolest, I guess. Omar Prestwich.
Yeah, we definitely need to find the coolest outlet.
I'm just chilling.
But anyway, yeah, you wanted to come on the. So many people, they're like, "Oh, it's my dream to come on I Am
it's
Salt
cool,
Lake," and it's like
right?
it's just
cool because I love to talk about myself. Who
Yeah.
doesn't like to talk about themselves?
You'd be surprised.
But anyways, I was a little jealous, but that was the whole thing with Damson, is like, I never wanted to be the face. I still don't. I want to see the brand grow and be its own thing. And I want to make hella money doing it. How's that?
I love it, man. A guy that's not afraid to speak his mind.
You know what you want, which is more than a lot of people know.
You also do photography, right?
Yeah.
You take pictures.
Right.
You're a photographer, amateur or what?
Yeah,
mean,
totally
what?
amateur.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
I mean, you
a pro.
take some dope shots, like you like
you.
to say. I mean, where did that interest come from?
Truthfully, I've always had an interest in photo, ever, whatever, since like high school or even before. But it was where I actually had my hands on an actual camera that was nice, and I was a little shy. I took some photos, and I'm like, you know what? I can do this. That was just my mentality. I can do this. But what really kind of got me to the next level was no one could really capture the brand like I wanted it. And that's what drove me crazy. The ones that could capture it cost hella money. And a lot of the original shots that are some of my favorites still to this day are actually from homies in San Francisco, Enrique Espinoza, who does a lot of the photo stuff for like Skull Candy and another company that does gaming stuff or whatever. But he's the best. Look him up. Oz, I think it's Enrique or E. Espinoza, and his brother Oreo. They're the ones that have really kind of shot the best ones. And when I realized like they can capture what I want, and I learned I can do this, that's when my photo style kind of changed. And now I'm totally amateur. I don't claim to be a pro, photographer, however you say it. But it was just like how I want to share. I want to capture the look of my brand, and no one can do it. So I have to do it. I have to learn.
So do you take the photos that you've taken and turn it into merchandise for people?
No, actually I don't. I just take the photos to capture the moment of the event, or the lifestyle, or the whatever, the clothing. That's just kind of the main thing. Now I love it. I love shooting photos. I love, hiking in Big Cottonwood, Little Cottonwood with, my friend Jeremy or whatever. And I actually probably enjoy that almost as much, if not more, than shooting music.
Sure. Do you have like a favorite subject that you like to take pictures of, or a favorite thing?
People.
Yeah.
And this is interesting. I shoot photos the way that I learned how to DJ. When I learned how to DJ, I had a mixer that had no sound effects. The fader didn't work. It just had highs and lows, up and down,
Sure.
And I had to learn how to mix tracks with a crappy mixer and make it sound cool.
Yeah.
And so when I do photos, I don't use the flash. I don't do anything. I try to use what's around me to capture the moment.
Can people buy any of your prints, any of your photos?
They can, but you can go to unsplash.com, search my name. You can go to omarprestwich.com. But some of my photos have been featured, like Lunas, he's, one of my favorite producers. He shared one of my photos, one like X and G, the photo that's traveling of them everywhere. Like I shot that. It's just cool to see like some of your own work being shared. And that to me was like, oh, damn, I guess I'm not that bad at it.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to be like a pro. Like that's not my job.
Well, I say that because I'd like to get one or two up here in the office.
Yeah.
So,
I was like, which ones you want, you can have them.
I
Buy the
wanna-
frame, I'll give you the print.
I think you should give us the ones that you, we'll buy them from you. I think you should give us
just give
everything.
them
No, the ones that like that you feel capture Damn Son the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we would like to represent you.
Especially since you've been on the show now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we obviously we need some stuff on our walls. We have some photos. We're new here still.
I'll pick one, and then you each
And
pick
we'll buy
one,
it.
and you can have them.
All right,
you buy the frames.
We'll talk off air
Okay.
here. We'll talk. What about some of your other hobbies and interests? What else
way. I get so
occupies your time?
I love running. I just love it.
What do you love about running?
Just it's not that easy to do, to be honest with you. It's hard to like
horrible.
It's hard to like, hey, I'm walking, now let me go walk faster and faster and faster for an extended period of time and hope I don't get hit by a car along the way. I love the challenge of it because it's hard to get started a lot of times, but once you're in, just like anything else, you get the momentum and it just feels amazing. And then you just have, and for me at least, not always, but a lot of times I just start having great thoughts come in or a lot of self-awareness stuff where I'm like, I'm not doing awesome here, or I'm doing awesome here. I could improve here, or an idea pops up. And running to me is where I go to kind of like be a little more self-aware.
Sure.
It's almost like a form of meditation for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't really believe in any other thing except kind of that type of stuff now.
Yeah. I love the clarity that brings.
That running brings?
Well, exercise. Let's say exercise. I don't do the running. I think you guys are amazing for running, but no.
I've tried to get back into it recently. I mean, I still got a long ways to go looking at my gut here, but I go through spurts of running. I love it. I love running. But I mean, I'm stoked to get like 2.5 miles in. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, you get out there. I mean, just so you guys know, you run 3 miles a day, which is a little challenge, I guess. 3 miles a day.
You run 3 miles a day?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Most of the time.
Like a morning runner, night runner?
Now it's night. I like going to the gym and kind of doing it there. It just kind of depends when I kind of have the time because I still work in Orem.
Sure.
So when I lived in Utah County, it was easier to kind of go whenever, but so I love running. That's a hobby. I like doing photos. That's a hobby. I like learning how to design. Again, hobby. And all of these hobbies are what actually got me my job at Fresco Press. And so I run like the digital media side of the company, where I will do designs. I'll do photos. I'll do the marketing. And so that's why I love it, because it intertwines with what I'm doing and I'm learning. And my boss is the coolest dude ever, who's just a freaking hustler.
Do you find it's like really helpful for you to work in an environment with an entrepreneur?
Oh yeah,
It's more of a passionate experience for everybody involved, and you can carry that into Damson.
Oh, absolutely. So he owns his own company called Riven, which is an athletic wear company, if you've ever heard of it. He, is a big reason why like the Comcast sales team in Utah actually is like the way that they are. So he's huge in that, or was until he did this. But like he created, again, this business into the company that does stuff for Salt Lake Comic Con, FitCon. Now we're doing FearCon, which if you haven't heard of that, it might even already have happened once this is out, but FearCon. And so he's...
No, this will be up before Fear, because FearCon's the 29th of October,
yeah,
right?
October 29th. You can still get tickets. It's going to be hella dope. But it's incredible to work with someone that just is completely driven.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I love most about him is he gives everyone the benefit of the doubt. He sees their strength and just kind of lets them run. Like, I basically was like, I can do this. And he said, okay. So when you tell someone you can do it, you better fucking do it, right? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, again, like Gary said, cream rises. And so the people that come in our work, a lot of, and including me, I came in and out. And then I'm like, now I'm in because I'm in, right? Mm-hmm. But he's continues to grow. I see that. I love it. I try to learn from him, because you can, if you're not surrounding yourself in any environment where someone doesn't lift you up or motivate you, mm-hmm. you're never progressing.
Yes, I agree.
And so that's what I love about working there and with him. Long story short, he's a go-getter.
If you could learn one random skill, let's say you had the opportunity to learn a random skill, what would it be?
I'm trying to learn how to juggle.
Are you really?
Are
you any
That's
good?
so cool.
No.
I could juggle scarves.
Okay.
And I
can juggle scarves too.
So I used to dabble in birthday party clown shows back in the day, years ago, another lifetime ago, and I did juggling and scarf juggling.
Yeah. Well, and scarf juggling is a good way to start.
Yeah.
Practice juggling because it falls slower.
But it looks so cool.
It does.
Yeah. I just think it's I don't know why. I've just always wanted to. And when I get the chance, I'll like try and juggle. I'm like, damn it, nope, still can't do it. But
try it with scarves. You can do it.
Okay, I'm going to. I will.
Right.
I mean, maybe because I think the idea of hand-eye coordination is crazy cool. Like if I throw something that way,
it goes
like towards you, your hand is going to go up and try to catch it. And most likely, you're going to catch it. Sure. It's weird. It blows my mind. Juggling,
tactile skills.
Your hands are here. Shit's over here.
If somebody was visiting Salt Lake, I ask these questions to everybody.
Oh, wow.
If somebody's visiting Salt Lake for a day,
okay,
what would you tell them to check out?
Salt Lake. Well, I'm actually new to Salt Lake.
Okay.
I've lived in Utah.
But you come to Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I go to like Salt Lake to do nightclubs, I guess.
So is there a nightclub you tell them to check out?
It's Urban Lounge.
Urban Lounge.
Urban Lounge.
Check it out.
Great club.
It's a venue. It's like, that's the spot.
That's the spot.
Yeah, Urban Lounge. But food-wise, geez, I'm trying to like find everywhere. So far, my favorite places, so Lucky 13, damn. Their burgers, dope.
Top-notch stuff, man.
What's your favorite burger there?
I don't even know the name of it. Last time I went, I had the mac and cheese with bacon, which was hella dope.
I've heard that's good.
I've never tried that one.
And then they have another one that's like a habanero, something that's...
That'll make a grown man cry.
I cried, and I'm a grown-ass man. It was so delicious. It was spicy. It was great. So I like that. And I like the aesthetic of the place. It looks cool, good vibes. So I would definitely recommend that. I don't know, breakfast food that I went and got breakfast for my birthday.
When was your birthday? Recently?
Yeah, it was yesterday. No, June 25th.
June 20. Okay, I was going to say it wasn't recently.
No. The Liberty Park.
Oh, the Park Cafe.
Right on the corner of like
Park
500.
Cafe, yeah, man.
That place was awesome. It was so good. Their service was great. I went in there by myself, kind of hung out. It was like so chill. I loved it. So I would recommend that. And then, I don't know, Penny Ed's or over by the U. If you're like
Penny Ann's?
Yeah, Penny Ann's Cafe.
Oh, yeah.
So that's right where I live.
Their breakfast nachos. Have you had them?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man, you got to go get them. They're so great.
Okay.
Gotta go try them out.
See, right? Like
Chrissy
it's that
said
good that
yeah.
she's already right. So that's what I would recommend. Kind of food wise, I guess. Night, check out what's going on at Urban, or I don't know, like the guys that do the Control Room. I think like Underground Music. I think what they're doing is super cool. And Dirt First. What
would you name the autobiography of your life?
That's a good question. What would I name the autobiography of my life? Do what you love.
That's inspiring.
No,
it's an inspiring autobiography.
I love it. How can let's run down the list here? How people can find you online? Let's give links, social media. I know you do a lot of. You're on social media. You make a presence on there.
You can find me a few different places. I've rebranded everything like on my personal stuff to just be my name so people can find me. I'm doing that kind of following the Gary Vaynerchuk approach. So Instagram, Omar Prestwich. Facebook, Omar Prestwich. Twitter, I need to change it. It's still Tom Servo, but I honestly, I rarely use it. And then I guess those are the Snapchat. I just use Damn Son Style. That's not my name, but eventually I'll have my own. But for now, I'm just kind of building that. So yeah, Omar Prestwich. My phone number is.
I'm glad we caught that so well.
And I'll put all those links with the show notes at iamsaltlake.com with this episode.
Cool.
Was there anything, as we kind of wrap this episode up, I know there's so much, man, we could talk about, and I'm going to bring you back on sometime.
I feel like we've only hit the tip of the iceberg.
We really have. And unfortunately, that's kind of,
I jabber a lot.
No, man. No. I love it. You know what I love about all this is that there's enough, I could bring you on 5 times.
Tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, keep bringing you back. I want to bring some of these people that you're involved in, artists, music, whatever.
Salt Lake is cool.
Dude, it really is.
There's just so much fucking talent here. It blows my mind. Like, I will tell you this. From what I know now, Alethea Lunaris is the next big artist to come out of Utah. Like, you see her stuff everywhere. X and G, they're the biggest name that will come out of music in Utah in a really long time, and probably the country. And then you have this 19-year-old kid who, his name's Zodi. Matt Zodi, I just met him, and he's huge. He's gonna blow up. So there's like all these people. Jorgen, I'm gonna blow his last name, but anyways, he just did a remix for like Imagine Dragons, right? So like I just see all this crazy talent, and a lot of people don't know that it's right here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you think people get embarrassed to say they're from Salt Lake City too? Maybe I've found that with a lot of musicians, I don't know.
Like they feel like maybe they're not as reputable if they say they're from Salt Lake.
Because didn't that happen with Imagine Dragons?
I don't even know.
Didn't they're like, they say they're from another place or something like that, right? But yet they're from Utah. Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't.
But now they're Vegas.
I don't even listen to their music.
I don't know, and I'm not.
So many great bands came out of the Provo area.
Yeah.
Even then, they wouldn't give us the time of day. Anyway, so yeah, Omar Prestwich, damsonmusic.com, Damson Music, pretty much anything. I'm Salt Lake for the discount.
Oh, yeah, that's right. To the listeners of the podcast, use I Am Salt Lake, and you can get some swanky gear, some of the
cool.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
I want to get them all, man, and I want to chat afterwards about some screen printing and all of that.
Cool.
Anything else you want to ask him, Chrissy, before we let him loose and back into the wild? You mentioned where did you get your haircut done, man? You got a barber or what?
I just got back.
No, I know.
Nice cut.
You had to reschedule this interview to be a little later. And
yes.
I like to talk barbershops.
So I go to Garrett Michaels.
Okay, down to 300 South.
Exactly.
Yeah,
love
man.
the place. Love the vibe. Coolest people ever. The guy that cuts my hair is Josh Max. He also DJs, so it's perfect, right? But they just, the environment is cool. Every time I leave, I feel so fresh. Like, I don't even want to shower because it's so perfect. I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
It just feels so good when you leave.
And everyone there, like, they have a dog that just chills, comes in and out. Like, good vibes only there.
Yeah, right on, like I said, 300 South, and I believe between 4th and 5th East.
Yeah, right around the corner from the Urban Lounge.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And the breakfast place next to the Urban Lounge, the branding is sick, right? Oh, damn, their breakfast burrito. Oh, I think I should probably go.
Why,
tomorrow.
Did you make a mess on the seat or what? You're getting a little excited
It's
over
just
there.
so fucking good.
All right, man. It's been great chatting. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Finally on the podcast. I love it.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
And have a good night.
You
or
bet.
Day, whatever.
Peace out.
What a great conversation with Omar Prestwich. Head on over to imsaltlake.com/246. It's for episode 246 for links to get in touch with him. Find the merch. Hey, remember, use the promo code IamSaltLake to get 30% off of Damn Son merchandise. Omar talked about it in the interview. I'm going to remind you there. I mean, let's seriously, I want all the listeners to take advantage of this promo code and basically make Omar regret even offering.
Giving us a 30% off.
I mean, seriously, that's a heck of a deal.
It really is.
When he said it in the interview, Chrissy, I was like,
I thought he was going to say 10%.
Yeah, is this guy for real? I know I want to get on there and do a ton.
We're just going to go shopping tonight.
I need some
online.
new t-shirts in my wardrobe.
Gosh, me too.
And why not support a great local guy like him and what he's got going on? I mean, what an incredible story.
He's gotten, man. And
we could talk about it a little bit more now since everyone's listened to it.
Well, a lot of the interesting stuff we talked about was after the mics went off, and you'll never know.
And that's what I feel so bad about. I feel so bad. You say this every time. You're like,
I do say it every time.
Why do we turn the microphones off?
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
I don't know what. Well,
but
the second you do, people relax and really start opening up.
And there's a part of me, do we keep them running? Do they? I don't want them to feel unsafe.
Yeah.
Some people don't want,
No, it's true. It's true. I kind of feel bad for our listeners because we really get such a rich experience. So maybe some of them can come hang out sometime.
Absolutely. Come and hang out. Speaking of coming and hanging out, we have a Patreon page. I know we've talked about this. This is a great way to support the podcast. Mm-hmm. Patreon is an ongoing Kickstarter for those of you. I know Patreon's kind of a new concept in the world. A lot of people aren't familiar with it. Basically, it's just an ongoing Kickstarter, but you get cool rewards in return. We have some great rewards up there. You can get I Am Salt Lake koozies. You can get some unreleased content. We're going to be putting more up there. Mm-hmm. Trust me when I say this. I have a lot of unreleased content I'm going to be getting up there on the page.
It's good content.
Plus, you get to come and hang out.
Yeah.
With the podcast, and you're actually going to hear this in next week's interview. We invited one of our newest Patreon supporters, Ryan Prince. Mm-hmm. He
bit the bullet. And he's a $25 supporter.
He's a $25 supporter, so it gets him an opportunity to come and hang out with us while we record, and then we open it up. He actually was able to ask our guest some questions.
Yeah.
So it's head on over to imsaltlake.com/supporter. It's going to forward you to our Patreon page.
Yes.
Let's give a shout out, though, to all of our supporters, including our newest supporter. I don't know if you want to mention those supporters.
The supporters. Oh, yeah. Thank you to Brian Young, Rob Knight, Ryan Prince, and our newest Patreon supporter, Scott. I don't know how to say his last name.
I think it's Nomph.
Scott Nomph.
Yeah, okay, so Scott is a great guy. He actually,
cool
so
guy.
A lot of people know him as Atheist. He was he is.
He's a hip hop guy.
He's a hip hop artist here in Salt Lake City. Yeah. He has to go by Rhyme Time now, something with copyrights and stuff like
really?
that.
Is that why?
Great guy. I know.
Oh my gosh. His stuff is so, we were looking him up last night or the other night.
I was playing. I said, Chris, you got to check this guy out.
Yeah.
So good.
His music.
So good.
And he has a song called Mikey is the Best.
Uh-huh. And you're a big Ninja Turtle fan.
It's my favorite movie, right? It's my favorite everything of all time. I love that song.
Any 90s kid.
Any 90s kid would love it. But I do need to point out that he is wrong because Donatello is the best, but I appreciate his effort in making a wonderful song.
Do you hear that, Scott? Chrissy is inviting you to a duel at sunset.
I'll fight you.
On the corner of 200 and 200. You better meet her there. No, seriously, we would like everybody to be part of the I Am Salt Lake Plus community.
Oh, yeah.
We got a great community of people out there. I know that. And for as little as $1 to become a Patreon supporter. And that's just basically your support of the podcast. We want to make this podcast listener supported.
Yeah.
There's so much. How cool would it be to have a big, staff of it? I don't know. And I Am Salt Lake
awesome.
staff. We
get us an intern.
We can get to the point where we can hire people for this.
That would be so rad.
We got a lot of ideas.
But we're only 2 people.
We're only 2 people right now. And so your support means the world. So many thanks to all of those fine people that Chrissy mentioned. Let's talk about our live shows, Chrissy.
Yeah, we have 2 live shows.
I'm excited. I'm nervous. I get really anxious before the live shows. I really, really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it because it is hard to be up on stage in front of people.
It is, but I crave it.
Yeah.
Ever since a year ago, actually, it's been a year since the first I Am Salt Lake Live.
Yeah.
I've done a handful of them, and now to have you as part of them. But let's talk about it.
See how that works out.
We got one, depending on when you're listening to this upcoming Friday, October 14th. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a little different. You've probably seen the social media posts. You've heard us probably talk about it. Domestic violence. It's a touchy subject.
It is. It's going to be in depth and raw.
It needs to be talked about, though. We got some great panelists. We've got some great stuff. We're not going to get into that here. Go to iamsaltlake.com/domestic violence, and you can grab a ticket if any are left. Mm-hmm. We'll be there. We're going to have mugs and koozies for sale.
Yeah, we are at a pretty good rate. So come on down.
Yeah, special prices for indoor. Do you want to say some more about that?
I think it would be really good for people to come out. I know that domestic violence is a really uncomfortable topic, but I really do believe so many people have experienced it on many different levels in their lives. And the fact that everyone is scared to talk about it is what gives it its power.
I think more of us than you even realize have been affected by it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot of people.
And just no one talks about it. Well, because it's uncomfortable. You don't want to relive it.
You don't want to
You make everyone else uncomfortable. If someone wants to talk to you about this stuff, just let them do it.
Absolutely.
And this is going to be a great open forum to be able to discuss things. So...
And then Saturday, November 5th, again, I don't want to get crazy into it on the podcast and sound like but I am really, really excited for this show. It's November 5th at the Hideout Pub and Grub. We got a great lineup.
We have like the most energetic guests.
Oh my gosh. It's Jimmy Martin, Kat Martin, Aaron Orlovitz.
And Rich Wilson. I love Rich. I love all of them.
It's going to be a fun night.
Yeah.
It's going to start about 9, but come early, have some drinks with us. I know we're going to at least be there an hour in advance.
Yeah, and Distillery 36 is going to be sponsoring the event.
And I don't know what that's going to entail, but it might entail some really good prices on Distillery 36. You never know.
Who knows?
I mean, I don't want to say too much. We're also going to be doing a massive giveaway at this event. I've gotten a lot of local businesses that have agreed to, sponsor an item or two to give away. If you're a local business, if you're listening, and I don't even care if you're not a big local business, maybe you just have you're an artist, or you have a little clothing company, or you
just have a
earrings.
booth at some of the markets.
I don't know. We'll mention your business at the show. Mm-hmm. We're going to make a website with all of the sponsors. We're gonna be. It's
a lot of good advertising.
So if you have something, please get in touch with Chrissy or myself.
Mm-hmm. You can reach us at our emails.
I want to mention, maybe, I don't know if I should mention, we haven't gotten a product yet, but Salt City Clothing has agreed to give some product. Jed's Barbershop has agreed to give us. Oleo's going to be giving away some product.
Yeah.
Again, Distillery 36 is sponsoring the event as well. So they might have some hats there and some other items. There's going to be a good show. There's going to be so again, if you're a local business, get in touch. If you want to, sponsor an item there, whatever. If you just want to get involved with us in general with the podcast, we'd love to work with the local community.
Absolutely.
Speaking of local businesses, Chrissy.
Yeah.
I didn't write this down. I didn't put it in the notes, but I want to wish Watchtower Cafe a happy birthday.
Yeah, today's their 1-year birthday.
1-year anniversary. Oh. We love those guys, Corey and Tui.
They're so great, and every time I wear their T-shirt to work, all my coworkers are jealous.
I want to wish them a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I want to sing them a song. We've gone in there. We did a live show at Watchtower Cafe. I love that place.
Oh, it's such a great place, and we took my kids there, and they didn't want to leave. It has a Nintendo and board games and great food.
Happy birthday, Watchtower
Cafe.
Happy birthday. Anyway, I think that's it for this episode. Let's run down the contact. Oh, you had something else you wanted to mention over there?
Oh, we got a really cute little card from a listener who invited us to a high school hair show. The Murray High School student hair competition on October 12th.
So yeah,
It's
we love getting invites like this, guys.
Yeah, and Ricky wrote us a card. Should I read it?
Read it.
Thanks, Ricky. Chris and Chrissy, first, thanks for joining me each morning for coffee. You're welcome. That's from Chrissy. Love the podcast and thought you may want to join us on Wednesday. There will be a story. We have 3 generations attached to our... Sorry, I'm terrible at reading. We have 3 generations attached to our story, and we will all be present. It's short notice, so if you can't make it, please share with someone who could benefit. Thanks so much. Hope to see you there.
So
Ricky,
we're sharing with you guys.
We're sharing with you.
We're going to try to make it. We don't, it's tough. It's a busy week for us getting ready for our live show on the Friday, but we're going to try to make it. So thank you so much, Ricky.
That's cool. We really appreciate it.
So if you have an event, if you have, send it to us. Let's give our mailing address. We have a mailing address, 2225 South, 500 East, Suite 16, Salt Lake City, Utah. Oh, I forgot the zip code.
Google it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We'll have it on the website.
Yeah, we'll have it on the website. But feel free to, we love to get invited to your events.
Oh, yeah.
We'll share the love here on the podcast. We'd love to come. Chris at IamSaltLake.com, Chrissy at IamSaltLake.com. We also have voicemail and text, 385-202-5926. So virtually you have no excuse that you cannot get in touch with us.
You know how to get a hold of us.
Plus we're on all the social medias.
Yeah.
IamSaltLake.com.
You can go anywhere.
You can go anywhere, find us. You can message us on our personal Facebooks, add us as a friend. We're going to keep you up to date on everything Salt Lake. Well, just today, was it Casey, listener of the podcast?
Yeah.
We ran into her at the Urban Flea Market.
We did. She had a stand there.
She had a stand there, and she was talking to us. She's catching up with all the old episodes.
Yeah.
And I
geeked out with her.
She depends on us to keep her up to date on everything.
It's true. She did say that. She said it's our job to keep her up to date on the local food scene.
And so
we got to step up to the challenge.
It's a lot of responsibility. I realize it. But hey, we're here to take on that challenge.
Absolutely.
We love to meet listeners of the podcast. So if you ever see Chrissy or myself out in public, don't be afraid. We might look haggard and hungover.
Most likely.
But no, seriously, we love to meet you guys. So anyway, this has been episode 246 with Omar Prestwich. Damn son. Again, use that promo code IamSaltLake. Check out some of his merch. Anything more you want to mention here, Chrissy, before we let the listeners get on to their next podcast?
Just have a good time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks you so much for taking time out of your day to join us. And you have a great week. Bye now.